It's 9/11, my favorite holiday. Um, oh goodness, I just brought this up. This Duolingo looks sad as heck. I should probably just delete it. I haven't used it in ages. Okay, so let me bring this up on the phone. Um, so it's gonna be, oh wait, I'm gonna change the category because we're gonna jump into gaming. So I'm gonna say the category will be, this is gonna be my first time gaming on Twitch. Because there's a game that I've been thinking about, which I think is appropriate for 9/11. I think this game is appropriate for 9/11. We'll see. All right. I'm trying to plug my phone in. All right. Let's see if the chat bot comes up. Hey, chat. Yeah. Cool. That's fine. All right. 9/11. All right. So I changed it. I changed the category. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Let's find the game. So I think this game takes place in a large office tower. It should be ready to go. And so of course I was thinking, what's a good game for 9/11? I think this game takes place in a large office tower. You see that? I have a lot of time in the game. Holy crap, 34. That's crazy. But as you can see, I never finished the game. Most people finish the game, I think. Well, I'm not sure. Actually, does it have global achievement? Last time I looked, the global achievement stats were down. Okay, here they are. Okay, so I guess it's an exaggeration to say that most people finish the game. Most people that I know of finish the game. It's a puzzle game. If you were to use a walkthrough, it would probably be pretty easy to finish, but I don't think most people use a walkthrough because, you know, it's a puzzle game. Figuring it out yourself is really the only thing attractive about it. Let's hop in here. Oh wait, let me stop the other music. All right, let's hop in here. So, let's see how this goes. Looks like it came up on the wrong screen and too loud, frankly. That's better. All right, it's way too loud though. All right, so yeah, I'd forgotten that I had so much time in the game. That's crazy. All right, so where do we change the sound? Because it's way too loud. It's way, way too loud, for sure. I didn't even check my sound on the phone yet, actually. Hold on. Yeah, it's super loud. Well, I've never tried gaming on Switch, and I kind of went into it maybe a little bit too off the cuff, and should have tested things out first, probably, I guess. I'll let me see if I can. I was just gonna stick to the game sound, but like, where do we adjust the sound here? All right, I'm gonna see if I can just mute it, and we'll go back to the other sound. Or here's this. This actually looks like it could work well. Okay, let me check it on my phone and make sure that's being reflected. Okay, can I hear myself speak? Okay, can I hear myself speak? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that at like, I don't know, 15. So I'm just gonna leave that at like, I don't know, 15. So I'm just gonna leave that at like, I don't know, 15. So I'm just gonna leave that. Okay, great. All right, works for me. Okay, so the idea here is just gonna sit here until I finish the game. That's pretty much it. Okay, welcome to your first day. You look like an excellent instruction follower. Your first job will appear over on the right side in a moment. Remember, you can always ask me for help. Okay, so he says, so it says drag commands into this area to build a program. Your program should tell your worker to grab each thing from the inbox and drop it into the outbox. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay, so that's fine. So when we do this, he does it, and then it loops back. Oh, no, it doesn't loop back. My bad. So we're going to grab one thing, we're going to grab a second thing, and we're going to grab a third thing. And that's how the game is. That's just how it is, baby. So it says, finished. Okay, so that's this one. All right, now if we look, oh, whoops. If we look here, so in achievements, career milestone 1 is coffee time. And look, that's a pretty good amount of players that made it to career milestone 1. Okay, so let's see where that is. I think that's here, right? Coffee time. So that's 4 puzzles in, but as we saw from that first puzzle, it was a very, like, trivial-ish, tutorial. I think I am going to turn this back up again a little bit. I better check how it is on my phone again. One last time, because I've never done gaming live on the internet before. Yeah, I think that's okay. All right. Let's look at the busy mailroom. Okay, so we had a mailroom in number 1. In number 2, we have a busy mailroom. Year 2, apparently. Well, it looks like you've made it this far. Congratulations on your promotion. Okay. Most people stress out and quit before making it this far. Okay, so as we can see, he's not talking about the gamers, because actually most of the gamers do make it well past this point. But I can tell you have a bright future in inbox-outbox management. Here is your new assignment. All right, so now we're going to be able to loop. So, okay, so we're going to take something and we're going to take something from here, inbox, and put it over here in outbox. And now we're just going to loop over it, and that's fine. Okay, so he did one thing, and then he looped back, and then he did another thing, and then he keeps doing things. Oh my goodness gracious, it was so simple. Okay, so that's our second basic tutorial. All right, so what's this one? Copy floor. Oh no! The inbox conveyor system is completely broken. Okay, so it has minus 99s shown in the inbox. But that doesn't mean we get to take a break from work. All right. So we're just going to send the following 3 letters to the outbox. Okay, so we're going to copy from, and we're going to choose the B. Okay, fair enough. And we're going to put that out. And then we're going to copy from and choose the U. I have very little room on my desk right now, so even just trying to use the mouse, I don't know, is annoying. I'm going to outbox the U, sure. And then we're going to accept the G. We're going to select the G. And there we go. Okay, so that's fine. So pretty basic stuff, I guess. A little tutorial for us. I guess I am going through pretty slowly, huh? If I'm going to try and finish this whole thing today, I better maybe try and pick up the pace. The data won't collate itself. Okay, so grab the first 2 things from the inbox. Okay, so we're going to grab one from the inbox, and we're going to put it on the floor. Grab the first 2 things. Okay, then the second thing. In the reverse order. So we are going to reverse every 2 things. So we can outbox this, and now we're going to grab the thing that we previously had and outbox that. And then repeat. It says repeat until the inbox is empty. Okay. All right. So this is the idea, right? I mean, I don't know. I weirdly have a ton of hours in this game and never finished it. That's crazy. Okay, so here's the coffee time. So this is where the people made it to. 89% of players, so that's good. It's actually, it really is surprisingly a lot of drop-off from this point to, like, the end completion. I don't know how hard it is to finish the game. Like I say, I never finished it. But I think most people who I know, I think, finished it. But we can also see that the global achievement stat is quite low for actually completing everything. So last time I looked at it, the global completion stats were down, and I couldn't see what they were. But this time they're up, and I'm like, oh, that's a little surprising. All right, give me a sec. I thought I had an energy drink. Let me see if there's somewhere. Yep, I see where it is. Right. All right. So if we finish the coffee time, then the next one is career milestone. Excuse me. Career milestone 2, employee morale insertion. If I could even speak. And where's that? That's over here. So let's head for that and see where we get. All right, he says, ugh. See what I've got. This is the legendary, to me anyway, wired B12 rush. That's the good stuff. Welcome to my personal rain cloud. I was never very good at math since I have only 3 fingers on each hand, but I hear you don't actually need to know very much about math to complete these assignments. Alright, so we're going to make a little bit of a sum. So I'm going to grab a thing. I'm going to put it on the floor. I'm going to grab a second... Well, I'll put the add because we're going to add to that. But I'll put the second thing here. And then, you know, once we've added it, then we just go ahead and outbox and jump back, right? Okay, so we put something on the floor. We make an addition and we put it out. That's all they wanted? Okay, so it's still very much, you know, tutorial level. We can see there's a pretty big drop-off, but not the most enormous drop-off. Let's get to the employee morale insertion. Crazy that I never finished this game, but I think it does get quite tricky at the end. Well, which are the parts that I didn't finish? Blue optimization and green optimization. So I did finish all levels complete. Even there, so that's at 8.1. It's 4.5 to the last one. So it's a pretty big drop off actually, kind of. Especially like for such a simple puzzle game. No, it does get tricky at the end, I think. But again, like I said, most people who I know who have played it really did finish all the achievements. And the other thing is, like, if you were to use a walkthrough, like, I think it would be pretty easy. All right, so we're going to grab a thing, and then we're going to say, is it 0? If it is 0, we'll just grab something else. If it's not 0, we'll go ahead and put it out. Is that what he's asking for? Not 0. Okay, so here he's got a 0. Okay, so he just tossed that. Lovely. All right, fair enough, fair enough. Let's see what the next one is. It's almost embarrassing that I have so many hours in this game. I thought I had less than 10, to be honest. I didn't realize I had 30 hours in the game. What the heck? It's not like I left this game idle for periods of time. Maybe I did and forgot about it. It's not like the kind of game you would leave idle intentionally. Maybe I just, you know, fell asleep or something. Send only the zeros. Okay, so if I've got something, then I will say we're gonna go ahead and outbox that. Otherwise, we will not. So far, so good, huh? Uh-oh. So it was not optimized. Let's keep going for now. We're heading to the employee morale insertion. Subtraction? I never learned that in school. All right, so we're going to grab a thing, I guess. So subtract the first from the second. Okay, so we'll put the first down. Then we'll grab the other thing, and we'll put that down. And then we will grab the first thing again, and we will make the subtraction before outboxing, right? Is that what's being asked for? I think so. Let's see. So he grabs the 1, but subtract the first from the second. No, I did it wrong. That's not at all what we wanted. Okay, so let's go back. So here we wanted to not do that at all. We just wanted to subtract here. Is that right? So he takes the 3. He takes the 6. He makes a subtraction. Sure. All right. -3, but you outboxed 0? Okay, let me look again. For each 2 things, first subtract the first from the second and put the result in the outbox. Oh, shoot. Okay, so then subtract the second from the first and put the result in the outbox. Repeat. Okay, my bad. All right, so we'll copy that one to there. Then we'll make the subtraction and outbox. Then we will grab this one and make the subtraction and outbox a second time. See, I wasn't even paying attention to what he had asked for. All right, well, that's fair enough, I guess. Okay, seems fine. Speed challenge. It says it's green. All right. So now we have equalization room. Okay, cool. All right, so if they are equal, put 1 in the outbox. Discard non-equal pairs. You got comments. Okay, so I don't really want to comment. I'm going to take an item. I'm going to put it on the floor. Great. I'm going to take a second item, and I'm going to make a subtraction. And then, if it's 0, I will go ahead and grab it and outbox. Right? And then I will repeat. But if it was not 0, then I will skip back to the beginning. Uh-oh, it was a little slow, so we'll need to come back to that one. Maximization room. There's been a change of plans. Okay, so we're going to take whichever of the 2 is the bigger. We're going to put that one out. So we're going to grab one and put it on the floor. Then we're going to grab a second and also put that, or actually, we don't need to put that on the floor, do we? We just need to make a subtraction, I think. So if it came out negative, then what does that mean, right? So I took the 3 and put it on the floor. I grabbed the 6. Okay, so that'll come out positive. So that means that I just need to add back on what was there and outbox. Right? And that's it. Okay, so if it was the opposite way, then instead of adding back, now I need to copy, right? Because what we want is the bigger of the 2, and outbox that, and then we're done. Right? "11 commands. Damn. All right, employee morale insertion. And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service. Back to work, everyone. A massive army of machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving and they are not communicating. Local authorities are investigating. So I guess that finishes up this one, right? So that's the second one. So then number 3 is the sabbatical beach. So that's the next on our little list, and it looks like it's not far off, so let's go. Management is watching. Okay, so if a number is negative, first remove its negative sign. So we're going to have to check, is that thing negative? Because if it is, we'll have to do something different. If it's not, then we'll just do this. Okay, so if it is negative, then we're going to put it on the floor, and then we're going to subtract 2 times, right? So imagine we have a -9. I'm like, oh, I can't just put it out here because it's negative. Instead, I'm going to put it on the floor. So I have -9 on the floor, and I have -9 in my hand. I'm going to do a subtraction, so I get 0. And now I have 0 in my hand and -9 on the floor. And then I subtract again, and I get 9. And then I repeat. Oh, after outboxing, rather. So these puzzles are pretty simple so far, obviously, right? We'll see where we get to, but some of the optimizations, look, I messed up the optimization on that one. Sabbatical Beach Paradise, here we go. Something about this beach does not look right to me. The image is completely desaturated. There's a lot of trash. What's with all the blustery wind and fog and the dead tree? Okay, so it's more than one thing about this beach that does not look right to me. The fact that it's so desaturated is probably the most off-putting. All right, so we finished that one, Sabbatical Beach Paradise. So then this one, solve a puzzle for a specific set of inputs. Oh, so this isn't even really an objective. This is just something that you might accidentally mess up. So we're going to look at Orange Optimization Award. So orange is this first path, right? Okay, so to finish this one, we now have to go back and finish this small, like, tangent branch. Who are you? This optional area is for high-performing employees only. Is that you? Is that you? Oh my gosh. Okay. Fine. All right. So each thing in the inbox, triple it. All right. So we'll take a thing. We have an add option, so that makes it simple, I guess, because we're just going to add. So that doubles, and then that triples, and then we're going to outbox. So it's a pretty small one, I guess. Let's see how that goes. All right, simple enough, right? I hope I finish the game today. That's the goal. We'll see how long it takes. Octoplier Suite. So this time we're going to multiply by 8. All right, so we're going to grab the thing and put it on the floor. Then we're going to make an addition, right? So that doubles it. So then we're going to put it on the floor again to double it again, right? So that's 4x. Sure. And then we're going to do it one more time to double it again, and that's 8x. And so that's fun. And so then we'll send it out. And then we'll repeat for all the items. All right, so that seems fine, right? Okay, so we hit the 9 target, and we hit the target there, so that's good. All right, Tetracontiplier. So this one, it says, what a wonderful feeling when all your work... Okay, so we're going to multiply by 40, right? Okay, that's fine. So let's see. So we're going to grab the thing. We're going to put it on the floor. So do we want to multiply like by 5 first and then by 8? So we're going to make an addition. So that doubles it. And I'm going to put it here. And then make another addition. So that's times 4, right? We doubled it again. So now we're going to add this. So that gets us to times 5. And then we're going to put it back down. Add again. So that gets us to times 10. Put it down. Add again. That gets us to times 20. And then one last time. That should get us to times 40, right? And then we put it out. What do you think? Is that gonna be the optimization target they want? I mean, it does look pretty long. Let's see what they say. Okay, seems fine so far. Okay, it was the command target. Nice. Oh, okay, so it did hit the target. All right, but that does not get us to what we were looking for, which is orange path fully optimized, right? Because in the busy mail room, we have one not lit up. So for the busy mail room, if we look, so he's going to grab everything. Right? So 3 or fewer commands, we're okay there. But on the speed challenge, it said, can you do it in 25 or fewer steps? And we did 30, right? So we're going to unroll the loop effectively in order to have fewer jumps, right? So we'll just do like that. So this way, he'll grab a bunch of things without having to jump. Right? So obviously we used a lot more commands this time, but that did bring our number of steps down. Okay. So that's all we needed for that one. All right, what's next? Solve any puzzle with at least 4x the number of commands required by the size challenge. I'm not going to worry about that one's. I'm not going to worry about that one right now. That one's kind of a little side quest, you know, and obviously previously in the 34 plus hours that I have in the game, I did it at some point, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let's look at the Midnight Petroleum next. So Midnight Petroleum is here. So let's go for it. Countdown. Yes, welcome back. Tick, tick, tick. Time keeps ticking down. Let's get to work. Oh, yes. I love what you've done with your hair. Oh, no! His hair thinned out. Ah, does that hit a little close to home? Ugh, sad. All right, well, whatever. It's fine. So we're going to grab a number from the inbox. Cool. And send it to the outbox. But then it says we're supposed to count down. All right, so before outboxing it, we're going to put it on the floor. Okay, so that's fine. And then after outboxing it, we're going to bump so if it's 0, then we're going to go back to the start. Or actually, no, excuse me. Down to 0 or up to 0. Okay. So if this guy came out negative, then let's do that separately because we're going to bump up instead of down, right? So we're going to outbox. We're going to bump up. All right. So then okay, so we bumped this down. So now whenever we bumped it down, we do have to outbox, right? But really, before we can do that, here, let's just do one outbox at the end, like the final outbox for when it's 0. Or no, actually. Oh, there's a... I don't think I knew that. Oh, I don't think I knew that this help thing worked that way. Okay. Maybe I did at some point. All right, so anyway, so when we bump it down, so then we have to outbox that. unless it's negative. So if it's negative here, then we have to go back to the start because we're done. But if it's not, then we have to outbox and then bump again, right? Okay. So in this case, it's kind of the opposite, right? So we bump it up. Then if this one came out either 0, so if it came out non-negative, right, then that's fine. But if it did come out negative, okay, hold on. Let me think it over again. Okay, so we came out, so we had something negative. So we outboxed that, then we bumped it up. All right, so now if it comes out positive, we have to come back to the beginning, right? So that's what I was doing here, but it looked confusing to me for a second. So if it came out positive, we have to go back to the start, right? Otherwise, we're going to do what we did here, and we're going to outbox and jump. So outbox and jump. Back to here, right? What was making that noise? Hold on, let me look. Okay, I'm good. All right. So, yeah, there we go. I'm a good amount of time. It's going to take me a while to finish this game at this rate. Okay, so what we did there seemed more or less logical. So let's see how we did on the optimization targets. So we used far fewer commands, far more commands. They asked for far fewer commands. And we used way too many steps, so that wasn't very good. So we're going to push on to the Midnight Petroleum and then see where we go from there. Multiplication Workshop. It seems like only yesterday we were learning about adding. Fond memories. We worked so hard back then. Okay. For each 2 things in the inbox, multiply them and outbox the result. Okay, so I don't know that I want these. Maybe they're a good idea, but whatever. All right, so we're going to grab a thing from the inbox. It says, don't worry about negative numbers for now. So I guess that means that we're just not going to get any negative. All right, so if we got a thing, then we're going to need to put it on the floor, right? Let's put it here, excuse me. There's a 0 here, so that's probably a convenience that we'll want to keep in mind. Then we are going to get the second item, all right? And I think we're going to put that on the floor as well, right? There's another noise. What did we get here? People going live. All right. Okay, so now we're just gonna, we're gonna bump it down. So let's see. So if this one is 0, let's see. So if either one is 0, then we have to just do 0, right? Right, so if that one came out 0, then we need to just go ahead and grab a second inbox, then grab the 0, and outbox. Okay. If this one came out 0, then we just need to go ahead and outbox. All right, so I kind of handled either one being 0 as special cases. Maybe that's not necessary. Let's see how it comes out when we continue along here. All right, so now, oh, I have a third inbox for some reason. Oh yeah, that is good. All right, so inbox the one, put it here. Inbox the second, put it here. Okay, so now I guess let's see which of the two is smaller. Right? So we'll do this over here, I guess. So I've got the 8, put it here. I've got the 3, put it here. I made a subtraction and it came out negative, right? So I got -5. So that means that this one is the smaller of the two. All right. So that means I'm going to copy from here. Copy to here. So that's where I'll put my product. Then I'll bump this down. All right. So now this will be 2. So now I'm gonna copy from here and add here, I guess. And I'll copy that back down to here because that's my product. Wait a minute. Looks like I'm looping at this point, right? Okay, so I bumped this down, I got 2. I added, so now I should have 16 here. I bumped this down, I got 1. I'll add one more time. All right, so now if this came out 0, then we'll go here, right? Okay, so now what about this case? So this case, it did not come out negative. So this time we're going to do the same thing, but with the other, like we're going to swap these two. So this was here. So here we're going to copy from here this time. All right. Then we're going to copy that to here for the product. Okay, so then we're going to bump this down. If that came out 0, then we're done. And otherwise, then we're going to copy from the product and add again. And then we're going to jump back. Okay, so let's watch him do it. So he puts the 8 here. He puts the 3 here. He'll make a subtraction. It's negative. So he's going to put this here as the product. Bump this down. It's not 0. So he's going to make an addition. Bump it down. It's not 0. So he's going to make a second addition. Bump it down. Now it is 0. So he's going to... Uh-oh. We skipped a step. And then that's going to happen here as well, it looks like. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, he grabs the 8. He grabs the 5. He puts this on the floor. He makes a subtraction. It's negative. So he grabs the 8 and puts it here as the product. Bumps it down. It's not 0. Okay, so there he goes. So now he's got the product. It is 0. So he grabs this, puts it out, and goes back to the start. Okay. All right, so how do we do on our optimization targets? So nowhere close to 15 commands. That being said, on the speed challenge, we did come in below the benchmark that they wanted. So we'll have to come back to this one. Let's continue for now. All right. Let's look at, so we're headed for Midnight Petroleum, right? So let's look at the 0 terminated sum. All right. Educating our employees on the job. All right, so we're going to grab an item. If it is a 0, then we're going to take the sum that we've been creating, and let's just put it here in 0 maybe. So we're going to copy from 0, outbox it, and return to the start. If it's not 0, well, let's see. Hold on a second. So at the start, for convenience, maybe let's grab this 0 and put it here as our starting sum. That way, after inboxing, we can just add here and loop, right? Uh-oh, he tossed it. So we skipped the step where we're supposed to put it back on the floor. Okay. Okay, put it back on the floor. Good. This one, grab it. Cool, put it back on the floor. All right, seems convenient enough. And how's this one on optimization targets? It is kind of a repetitive game, isn't it? All right, so we got a good amount of commands. We'll have to come back to this one to make it complete in much fewer steps. Okay, the littlest number. Let's take a look. To reduce our carbon footprint, management is requesting the smallest numbers only. All right. So it's only going to be the smallest that has been seen in the string. Okay, so we're going to grab one. If we do, in fact, so it says you will never be given an empty string, right? So we got to pay attention to that. So if it's 0, let's see here. So there is nothing on the floor at the moment. If it's 0, I guess we'll outbox from whatever we thought our minimum was. So we'll copy from our minimum here. And then, so then we're done. All right, so if it's not 0, okay, so it says we're never given an empty string. So that means we can handle the first item in the string as an empty case, right? So this will be the first item in the string, all right? So we don't have to worry about that one being 0. We'll just simply put it on the floor. All right. Okay. So now, if this one is not 0, then we're going to make a subtraction here. All right, so I got a 4, then I come out with a 15. So if it came out negative, then we will add it back and put it on the floor, because that one was smaller. Otherwise, we will just simply go to the next number. All right, so we got a 4. Okay, so now make a subtraction. It came out positive, so he chucks it. Make a subtraction. It came out negative, so he puts it on the floor. Got a 0, so he grabs it and puts it in the outbox. All right, so now we go to the start. He grabs a 13, he puts it on the floor. Okay, grabs an 11, makes a subtraction. Oh, it came out negative, so now we put the 11 on the floor, right? So that seems fine. Okay. 13 commands. Oh, so we won't have to come back to this one. That's very good. All right, cumulative countdown. Let's take a look. What is the purpose of this assignment? I think it's something about calculating the volume beneath staircases. We have to put the interns somewhere. Oh no. Okay, so for each thing in the inbox, outbox the sum of itself plus all numbers down to 0. For example, if inbox is 3, outbox should be 6 because 3 plus 2 plus 1 equals 6. Okay, so we'll grab an item here. Let's see. So if it's 0, do we need to worry about that? Or like maybe we should put the 0 here like we did before to kind of have like a sum ready to go. And then we'll inbox the item. No, we don't need to do that, do we? That doesn't make sense. We'll just inbox the item. If it's 0, we'll just outbox it. Otherwise, we'll put it on the floor. Let's put it in this spot. And now we will put the sum here. All right. So now we'll decrement this and then add it to here and put it on the floor. But if this came out 0, then at that point we're done. Right? Okay, so we make an addition. Okay, makes sense. We needed to jump back here. I guess we missed that. So this is where we were supposed to bump again. Okay, makes an addition. Goes again. Okay, that makes sense. Goes again. Makes a 10. All right. Skipped a step again. Before we outboxed, we were supposed to copy from... Let's see. So here we jumped to here. Here we are supposed to copy from here, the sum. All right, so is that fine? I guess it's fine, right? Okay. Yeah, that is fine. Okay. Midnight Petroleum. Seems like nobody's around. The lights aren't even on. That's crazy. What is that ominous light appearing outside the window? Is it the moon? Does it seem out of place for the moon? What are we looking at here? A little strange, right? Okay, so we finished the Midnight Petroleum. The next one on our list here is Career Milestone 5. Where's Carol? So we're just going to press on, I guess, to this one. Where's Carol? Big changes. All right. Okay, so imagine each thing in the inbox is an address, and each address refers to a tile, 0 through 9, on the floor. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, goodness. For each task, your task. For each address in the inbox, pick up the letter at that address and outbox it. All right, so we're going to grab the item. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and put it on the floor somewhere. And then we're going to grab whatever that is pointing to. We'll grab whatever it's pointing to and outbox it. All right, so it's a little tutorial for a new and rather interesting mechanic. And pretty soon this is going to make things more interesting. Okay, so that's fine. String storage floor. This is a nice one. This is actually quite a cute little one. I think it's one of my favorites in the game. So, again, we are going to grab a thing and put it here. Then we're going to copy from here. And if it came out 0, then we will go ahead and jump back to the start, I believe. But if it's not 0, then we will outbox it. Then we will bump this down, and then we will return back to here. Okay, let's see. So I got a 4. This was supposed to be this number. My bad. Okay. So we grabbed a 4. I got a T. We grabbed another one. Oh, I went the wrong direction. Oh, goodness. I didn't even notice. Okay, we got a T. Bumped it up this time. Makes more sense, I think. Got an H, sure. Okay. Now we find this, and we're like, oh, it's 0. Okay, so to the next one. E, T, A, R. The target, triple X, is awake. XX, take this. XX. All right, so how do we do on the optimizations? Uh-oh, we'll need to return to this one. All right, let's just continue for now then. String reverse, it says. Okay. Ole. Yadat ui era wa. Aha. Haha, okay, now seriously. All right, so for each 0 terminated string in the outbox, in the inbox, reverse it and put the result in the outbox. Repeat. Okay, so we'll take whichever item. Here, first of all, we're going to want this 0. This is going to help us. So let's put this 0 here. And now we're going to copy this to whatever location this says, all right? Which is going to start out at 0. Now, if the item was 0, we need to go to the output portion. But let's come back to that. So now we're going to bump this down, or excuse me, we're going to bump this up actually. And then get the next thing from the inbox. Right? So that's how we're going to copy each string to the floor. In fact, we can just watch that part. So he puts this here. We're going to put the L there, bump it up, grab another item, put the A there, bump it up, sure. We're going to put the K there, great. Bump it up, and put the E there, right? So that way we can copy it to the floor, simple. And now he's got the 0, and now he doesn't know what to do. Okay, so now let's go to the next section. So we got the 0, so now we have to go send it back out. And this is actually pretty simple, right? Because now we just bump this back down again. And then grab the item. And then outbox it, right? And then what we have to pay attention to is when this thing goes negative, that means we are actually done. So we return to the start. All right, so then when we outbox this, we bump down. Okay, so let's watch. So it's really pretty cute. I like this one. All right, let's see what they say for our optimization targets on this one. I think we used too many. Just by 1, I guess. And just by 3, we had too many steps. Okay. Okay. So that brings us to inventory report. Inventory check, okay. Accounting verification. Surprise audit. These are a few of my favorite things, so let's get started. So it says, for each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the total number of matching items on the floor. Okay, interesting. So if we get an X, realistically, I think what this means is that we're literally going to have to check every single item in this string to see if it matches. So we're going to start by grabbing this 0. This is going to be useful to us again. I'll just put that right there. And then I'll put this one right here, all right? So now we are going to grab whatever item is pointed to by this thing that started at 0. All right, and once we've grabbed it, we're going to make a subtraction here. All right. And then if that is 0, then we're going to bump up a number, another number. So we're going to need that 0 again. Okay. Let me switch these. Okay, so we've got a 0 here, which is going to help us go through the string. And then we've got another 0 here, which is going to be the count, right? So if this did come out 0, then we are going to increment our counter. All right? If not, then we'll just skip over that. And then So now we're going to just basically increment this guy here, right? So that guy gets incremented regardless. And then we return to grab more things off the floor here. However, if when we copied this from the floor, if that came out 0, that means we're done actually. So at that point, we go ahead and grab the count that we've made. We outbox that, and then we return right to the start. And that's it. So we're going to put this on the floor. Oh, interesting. So this second copy was actually not needed. I'll just go ahead and get rid of it right now. All right, there we go. We put the letter C there. We grabbed a B, and now we make a subtraction. We're like, oh, it didn't come out 0. All right, we'll grab the next one, A. Make a little subtraction. Does it come out 0? No. All right, we'll grab the X. We'll make a little subtraction. It did not come out 0. All right, a B, sure. Not 0. Okay, so now the C. So now this one should come out 0, so that means he's supposed to bump the 0 at 17. All right, let's watch him finish. So, right, so he's painstakingly going through the whole thing, right, to check every single spot until he finishes. Kind of interesting. All right, so we done? All right, let's see what it says for our targets. 16. Okay, we got 16. That's good. 393. No, we're way over. All right, so we'll have to return to that one. All right, where's Carol? Where's Carol? Oh no. Oh my god, this coffee is amazing. Coffee time. Back to work, ladies. Breaking news. Previous reports of machine army evaluate to false. All right. Well, I believe it. Let's go to the next. All right, so we got to where's Carol. So now it says attempt to generate a number that is too big to store in green boxes. Attempt to read or write with a tile on the floor that does not exist. And then career milestone 6 is end program. So again, so like I'm skipping these glorious failures for now. Like I'm probably not even going to try to do them today because like I said, I've got 35 hours now in the game. And I did those ones before. So I'm just going to go to career milestone 6 end program. I want to take like 5 minutes. Let's see current events. We used to look at these sometimes. Oh no. Oh, I hate these. Oh, this is really bad. Well, whatever. All right. Be right back. Give me 5 minutes or so. Probably not 5 whole minutes, but I'll be back. Hey, good. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Okay. So, yeah, so it says, so next we're going to end program. Interesting. So end program is here, and then after that, it's all levels complete, which means we have to do these tangent branches. Okay. So let's press on to end program. So this one's going to be called Vowel Incinerator. Hi, yes, hello. What is the meaning of this? Ahem. Management is attempting to reduce bandwidth by removing all vowels from every word. Good luck. All right, so we have these 5 vowels kind of listed here on the floor. And I have a 0 conveniently here. So again, we're going to want this 0 for our convenience because we're going to need that to go through the string that we have here, basically, right? So we're going to grab an item, and we're going to put that on the floor here. All right. So then we're going to grab from whatever is here, right? And then we're going to make our subtraction. And then if that came out 0, then we just go straight back to the beginning, right? Otherwise, we go ahead and bump this and return to, let's see, to here, right? Yeah. Bump this. There we go. Okay, so now if when we copy this, if this comes out 0, then we've reached the end of the string, and that means that it was not a vowel, right? So now we can outbox. We have to copy it from the floor, and then we can return to the beginning. Right? Okay, so we're going to put the 0 on the floor. That'll be useful. We'll put the H on the floor as well. Cool. We'll grab the A and make a little subtraction. Right? Makes sense. So you should end up putting the H out there. Good. Seems cool. Seems cool. Okay, so that was a pretty simple one, I think. And how's our speed? It's fine. Let's go to the next. Duplicate removal. Uh-oh, look. Did a plane hit our office tower? What the frick happened here? Oh, no! Alright, so he says, it's time to eliminate inefficiencies. Okay, so send everything from the inbox to the outbox unless you've seen the same value before. Alright? Discard any duplicates. Okay, so what that means is we're gonna, everything that we see, we are gonna have to put onto the floor. So we're gonna grab this, and we're gonna have to figure out like where are we supposed to be putting things, right? So this is gonna be like how many things we've grabbed so far. So when we grab something from the inbox, we are gonna put it on the floor at, you know, the current slot. And then we're gonna bump that up. Unless it's a duplicate, but let's come back to that for a second. So we bump that up. And then I guess we're going to also want to copy that item to here. Because now So after we've done this and copied that down, wait a minute. Then we're going to need this number because now we're going to count down and go through all the things that we've seen so far, right? And so let's put that here. Okay, so now so we bumped this up, that's fine. So now let's bump this one the other way, down. Yeah, so we're going to bump that down. And now we're going to copy from whatever is here, and now we're going to make our subtraction. It looks like I've done too much already, so almost certainly going to have to come back to this one. Or just fix it right now if I can see what the problem is. Okay. So we'll make a subtraction, basically. So now if it did come out as the same thing, then we know that it is in fact a duplicate. And that means that we are going to return to the start. We're going to grab the next thing from the inbox. Right? Otherwise, we're just going to make another comparison, right? Okay, so now when this goes below 0, that means we've checked everything. So that means we are now going to bump this up. I bumped that up prematurely before, right? Because if it was a duplicate, then we don't want to add to the length of the string. So we bump this up, and now we copy this, outbox it, and then grab the next thing from the inbox. Okay, so let me watch him for a second. So we're going to put this 0 on the floor. Okay, so to be honest, we actually do not need to keep that 0. So actually, we don't even need to do this. We can just get rid of that 0. Okay, so that came out negative. So we put out the C. All right, so now we've got an E. We're going to put that on the floor. Going to put it there. Now we're going to make our comparison. And it's not the same. So we're going to grab the E and put it there. Okay, so now we're going to grab another E. Going to put it on the floor. We're going to make our handy-dandy little comparison. Okay, there it is. It came out 0, so we just want to forget it and grab another one. All right. And then let's see what he does when he gets to the A. Okay, so it was an E, so we don't want it. All right, so here's the A. We put the A down. We're like, okay, this is fun. Now we make a handy-dandy little comparison. Nope, it's not that. Okay. We make another handy-dandy little comparison. Oh, it's not that either. All right, so now we're like, okay, good. So we put the A there. We grab the B. We put the B on the floor. Okay. So it's kind of an intricate operation, I guess, but I think it's simple enough to understand. Right? He's going through a lot of steps, though. Look at him go. All right. 17 or fewer. We actually made it in 15, so that's pretty good. But we're way over the number of steps that they were asking for, so we'll have to come back to that one as well. All right, just 3 more before we reach end program. Let's look at the scavenger chain. Cough, cough. Yes, it's getting a little drafty up here. Facilities management has been notified, but we still have work to do. Okay, so each pair on the floor contains data and the address of another one of the pairs. A scrambled chain. Each thing in the inbox is an address of one of the pairs. Outbox the data for that pair and also the data in all following pairs in the chain. The chain ends when you reach a negative address. Repeat until the inbox is empty. Okay, so we'll grab the thing. And then I guess we'll just put that on the floor somewhere. And now we will grab whatever thing was pointed to, right? And then we'll outbox that. Then we will bump this up. And then copy from whatever was pointed to there. And then copy that to this spot, because that's our next thing. And then that means we now, in fact, hold on. We can do the copy to right here. There we go. Okay, great. Okay, so now if it came out negative when we copied here, then that means we actually just return to the start, right? Okay, let's watch. So we got a 0. So we put the E down. Now we're going to put the 13 on the floor. Okay. So here's a S. Fine. Okay, so now we're going to put the 3 on the floor. Let's watch. Seems sensible, so let's see. Escape. Ape. Okay, well, there we go. Escape ape. Okay, seems fine to me. Let's look at re-coordinator. Pawn to b6 and check and mate. Yes, I win again. I find the game is most enjoyable when playing against the best player I know, myself. Each number in the inbox is an is an address of a tile on the floor. Send to the outbox the coordinates of that tile, column first, row second. For example, an address of 6 has coordinates 2, 1. You may ask your boss for more examples. Okay, that's fine. So if we're going to grab a 10, then we know that a 10, we should put out 2, 2, right? Okay, fair enough. So I notice we have a 4 here, right? So we're going to need to use this 4. And how are we going to use this 4? So basically, when we put out the number 10, we're going to have to subtract 4, and then, so like if we subtract 4 and it comes out negative, then we know that this number is 0, right? So we're going to start by copying this 0, because this is going to be the count for the row, right? So then when we inbox our item, I'm just going to put it like here, I guess. Oh, so we're going to copy it to the floor here. Okay. So now we're going to take the 4 and, or no, actually, we're going to make a subtraction. We're going to subtract the 4. There we go. All right. So now if this came out negative, then we're going to grab this 13 and we're going to outbox that because that is our row number. Oh, but we need the column number first, right? So the column number is going to be here in 12. But we need to add first. So we did sub. So that means we need to add the 4 back. Or does it? No, I think we just do this. I think we just do this. Outbox. And then are we going to need that 0 again? Yes. Okay. Copy 212, sub 15. Okay, so now if it's not negative, then we're going to put that back on the floor at 12. And then we're going to go back to here. Okay, so actually we're just going to do that. Okay, so let's watch. So we're going to put the 0 on the floor, and then we're going to put the 10 on the floor next to it. Okay, so now we're going to make a subtraction and put that there. Uh-oh, I left out the bump. So the bump is going to happen here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put the 13. We're going to make a subtraction. Okay, so now, I did it too early. We need to copy 2 first and then bump. Okay. Okay, mess that up a little bit. So we're going to put the 9. We're going to make a subtraction. Sure. Now that goes there. We make a bump. Sure. Wait. Uh-oh. No! Okay, so we'll make the bump, but then we need to copy from 12 again. It seems like I've done something out of order and I'm using more instructions than I should, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so we put the 10 down, we bump this up, we grab the 10 and make a subtraction, sure. Put that down, bump it up, grab it again, make a subtraction, okay. There it is. Okay, so I got a, excuse me, I got a negative, so now this goes out 2, and now this goes out 3. Okay. All right, fair enough. So it says, okay, so we had 15 instead of 14, and we had 80 instead of 76. So those are just a little higher than they're supposed to be. All right, that brings us to the last one, sorting floor. Check out this new office. My gosh, were you hit by a plane? Was a jetliner terrorist attack taking place here at some point? We've really climbed the corporate ladder together. Okay, so there's a bunch in here already. For each 0 terminated string in the inbox, sort the contents of the string, smallest first, biggest last, and put the results in the outbox. Repeat for each string. Well, okay then. I guess I haven't been at it that long, huh? I mean, I shouldn't be. I've played it before, you know. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of all that. Okay, so here's where we are. So we're gonna take something. So let's see. So we want to put the smallest item out first. So if we have 85, 11, and 42, we want to put the smallest out first, right? Fair enough. So this is quite a short one. So let's try keeping it fairly simple, I guess. I think we're going to have to do it by making swaps, basically. We're going to have to put everything on the floor and make swaps. Okay, so let's yeah, let's go ahead and do this. That'll be our index. Then when we inbox something, then we're going to put it on the floor at the location indicated. Then we're going to bump that up and get the next thing, right? Okay. If this thing came out 0, then that's the end. Okay, so at that point we have copied it. We've copied the string onto the floor. All right, so now I guess we're just going to go through it and make swaps. It's going to be something... What I'm envisioning as of this moment is something like a simple bubble sort. All right? So, I don't know. I guess it can be okay. So now we've done that. So now we're going to bump this back down. And then we're going to copy. Maybe it's not a bubble sort. I'm not sure exactly. I'm envisioning some simple quadratic sort. I'm not sure which one it is exactly at the moment. We're going to copy from here. All right, so we're going to make sure that whatever this one is, we're going to make sure that it's the largest in the string before bumping it down again. So we bump that down. And now we bump this one down. And now we copy from what's indicated here, and we subtract what's indicated here. All right? So this one is at the end. So we want that one to be the larger of the two, all right? Oh, wait a minute. I think I need the 0 terminator in there. So when we do this, let's put that 0 terminator on the floor so that I don't lose track of where the string ends. So let's copy that down. Just so it's there. Yeah. Okay. So now, if we made that subtraction and it came out negative, then that means we need to swap them. So I'm going to copy from here, and I'm going to put that here as temp. All right. Then I'm going to copy from here and put that here. And then I'm going to copy from the temp and put that here. Okay, so that's our swap. There might actually be a better or different way to do that. Maybe. I think that seems okay, though. All right, so if it didn't come out negative, Elira Shade says, hey. Hey, how's it going, Elira Shade? All right, if it didn't come out negative, then we go back here and bump this down again. Good, how are you? I'm good. I'm just enjoying my favorite holiday, 9/11. And you know what? There are many things that make this a good holiday, but you know what's one thing that makes this a good holiday? It's not commercial. There aren't 9/11 stores like Spirit Halloween. Look, people love Halloween and that's fine, but it's very commercial. People love Christmas. It's very commercial, though. 911 is not commercial. Nobody's trying to... Maybe some people are trying, but they're not selling us a ton of crap for 911. Yeah. All right. So... then we need to get to the point where we bump down the 23 again. So if when we bumped down the 22, if this goes negative, then that means we need to go back and bump down the 23 again. Play on PC? Yeah, I'm on PC. Yep. Yeah, this is... oh, I was gonna say, I think this is an appropriate 9/11 game because, as you can see, we're playing in the top of a corporate office building that has been apparently hit by a plane. I'm just kidding. It doesn't... in the story, it doesn't say it's been hit by a plane, but something has happened here. Oh, yeah. All right. So this is the last puzzle in... so, like, this is where I'm at. Career Milestone 6 End Program. So when I finish this one, we'll get Career Milestone 6. I've played it before. I have like 35 hours in it, but I never finished all of it. There's a blue optimization award and a green optimization award for finishing everything, and I didn't get them. How's my streaming going? Not that... I used to tell myself to try and be streaming more, but no, I hardly come on these days, but I had to come on for 9/11. Okay, so we bump... okay. Yeah. And this is my first time doing a legit like game stream, because this is a game which is a lot like... so I usually do Exorcism, which is not a game, but it's kind of like a game. And this is a game that's kind of like Exorcism. So basically, when we bump this 23 down below 0 at some point, or actually even just down to 0, at that point we're done sorting. So now we just need to inbox whatever... or no, not inbox. We need to copy from what's at 23 and outbox it. Unless it's 0. If it's 0, we go all the way back to the beginning. And then we bump this up. Okay, let's see how he does. So we put the 85 down. We grab the next number, and we put that down. We grab the next number, and we put that down. And we grab the next one, and it turns out to be 0. Okay, so now we move to the next phase. We bump this down and put a copy here. We make a subtraction, and we're like, okay, that's fine. So we make another subtraction. Uh-oh, it's negative this time, so now we swap. So he puts that there, grabs this one, puts it there, grabs this one, puts it there. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Oh. We got to outbox too soon. So after we did the swap, we were supposed to jump back, and I left that out. So we finished swapping. Now we come back to here. Okay, here we go again. Okay, so now we're trying to make the swap. Put the 90 there. Put the 51 there. It came out negative, so we're done. Okay, yes, this looks better. Okay, so he makes the swap. Good. Grabs the 31, puts it there. All right, so now he's done, so let's see. So this came out negative. What's the funniest moment I've had on stream so far? I don't think I've had many funny moments. I kind of cracked up on my drunk pee-pee poo-poo stream, but I'm pretty damn sure nobody else thinks it's funny. That was for myself only. Actually, all of these are for myself. Some of them, when I do exorcism ones, it's for myself and, in theory, like, potential employers or whatever. But for the most part, it's all just for my own self. And I don't know. I'm not really trying to be, like, funny or whatever. And frankly, I don't have much sense of humor. Or if I do, it's not a sense of humor that others are going to appreciate. At least I don't think so. So he took the word brain and he totally rearranged it so it says Abiner. That's cool. All right, I think we're getting it. I think we're getting to this next milestone. Yep, that's a long one. Oh my goodness, yep, that's a busy guy. What's the longest stream I've ever done? During the boot dev hackathon, I was on for 16 hours for 2 different days, but it wasn't like I had 30-minute breaks in there. 30 commands. Oh, yes. But we're well over the speed challenge. Okay. All right, so now I want to find out. It's been quite a while since I've played this game. I don't know if like the building actually gets destroyed at the end, but let's see. 16 hours, insane. Well, yeah. I mean, the hackathon thing was like it was supposed to be like a 3-day sprint type thing. So yeah, that's what it was about. But I haven't gone back to revisit the project since then, so whoops. I didn't remember this. So he's got a small computer, but is the building gonna get destroyed or what? Wow. Okay, so it's a giant robot. What setup do I use? So I think I've got it right here. Basically, my PC is built with the Ryzen 5600G, which is a very good one for a cheap build because it has good integrated graphics. But then eventually I also put in the actual like 3050 card, which I got a good deal on that, I think. Like it was pretty cheap when I got it. So yeah, it was a pretty good setup. And then I'm just on like Xubuntu, so. All right. Oh, can we skip the credit? No. All right, there he is. So then the next one is all levels complete. Okay, so we got to go back down and finish the side levels. So exclusive lounge, here we go. I've always felt most comfortable with nice, cold, logical decisions. Emotional decisions are for the weak. All right, so we're going to take two things, and so if they are both positive or both negative, we put 0. Otherwise, we put 1. Okay, so I'm going to grab a thing and put it on the floor. Have you thought about using custom stuff for your channel? No, not a lot. All right. So here, so what we could do is if when we grab, we don't even need to copy it necessarily. If we grab the first one and then grab the second one and they're both negative, then we just grab the 0 from the floor and put that out. Otherwise, we grab the 1 from the floor and put that out. Okay. So then if this one was not negative, okay, so we do inbox here. And then if this one is negative, then we grab the 1 from the floor and put that out. And then we go back to the start, of course. And if it wasn't, then we grab that. And then we go back to the start. Okay, so let's see what he says. Grab the 9. Oh. Okay, so we grabbed the 1. So far, so good. He grabbed the 1 every time. Is that good enough? I guess it is. All right, cool. Okay, so that was that one. Then we need to do this group of 4, the Fibonacci visitor. This back hallway is for advanced employees only. Are you sure you want to be here? These night shift assignments are optional, you know, and they are difficult. If you need to ask for help, I'll just be here looking through these catalogs for a golden spiral. All right, so for each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the full Fibonacci sequence up to but not including that value. For example, if inbox is 10, outbox should be 112358. What's a Fibonacci sequence? Ask your boss or a friendly search box. Okay, so let's start by grabbing this 0, and I'm going to put it on the floor here, and then I'm going to bump that. Gotcha. Honestly, custom stuff can make your channel stand out a lot. Want me to show you a quick example? No thank you. Yeah, no. I'm sort of like... Not on 9/11. No, I don't know. Okay, so we bump this up and put it on the floor here. Okay. So on this one, we don't have addressing options, right? So I guess I'm just going to put the whole sequence on the floor. So I'm going to go... Okay, so if I've got a 1 in my hand, I'm going to add a 1 and then put that on the floor. And then I'm going to add... So now I've got a 2 in my hand. I want to add this. Here, let's say that this time we're adding that, although maybe it doesn't matter. So we're going to put that on the floor. And then we're going to add this, let's see, this, and put that on the floor. Then add this and put that on the floor again. And then add this and put that on the floor. Add this one and put that on the floor. Okay. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to be able to get, because then we need to actually be able to put this other one on the floor, I guess. So I'm going to inbox and put that on the last floor spot here. First of all, let's see if he looks okay when he does this. So he's going to put a 1, a 1, a 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. Yeah, sure, he looks okay. So then we're going to shoot. Shoot. Yeah, I don't like this. Although technically it could do well on the speed challenge, but it's going to absolutely not do well at all on the space challenge. Well, yeah, I'll try it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract here. So it's up to, but not exceeding that value. So if it is negative, then we're finished and we go back to inbox. All right. Oh, you know what? Technically, I don't even need that. So I can shoot. This is not the right way to do it. Let's clear. Okay. So I'm going to take this inbox and I'm going to put it on the floor here. Then I'm going to take this 0 and put it on the floor here. And here as well. No, I'm going to bump it first and then put it here as well. Okay, so then I'm going to sub here. But first of all, let's see. I've got to outbox both of those. Okay, so now I make the subtraction, and if it came out negative, then we go back to the start. If not, then we're going to copy from here. Copy from here. There we go. And add to here. And then I guess I'll put that here. It should just be the same 2 spots every time, I think. Or maybe it's 3 spots. Maybe I'm running out of steam. I hadn't really felt very lost on the earlier ones, but starting to feel a little lost on this one, I guess. So we did the 1 addition. That's good. So now, I guess we copy this to here. And this to here. And then outbox. Okay, so we're going to put a 1 and another 1. We put both the 1s on the outbox. Fair enough. Okay, so now we got to do a subtraction. Okay, so I did it in the wrong direction. That was silly. Okay, so grab a 6, put it down. Put a 1 and a 1. We're going to put both of them on there. Okay. Okay, so that's still bigger. Yeah, that makes sense. Did I subtract in the wrong place? Because he ended up still putting the 8 on there. Seems like a lot. There's no way it should be that much. Oh my goodness gracious. That seems like way too much busyness. This is going to be like probably well over double the target speed. Let's see. Okay, so way over on commands. Oh no, okay, so the target speed... Wow, okay. So we actually did get the target speed. That's good. Okay. So then we've got mod module. Let's check it out. How many hours of work can you fit in one day? Not enough. There's always a sad remainder of unworked hours. Good thing we have these optional night shifts to cram in more. Oh, goodness. For each 2 things in the inbox, outbox the remainder that would result if you had divided the first by the second. Don't worry, you don't actually have to divide, and don't worry about negative numbers for now. All right, so we'll grab the thing and put it on the floor. Grab the second thing and put that on the floor. And then we're going to subtract, let's see here. If you divided so 6 divided by 4, so we're going to subtract, no, excuse me. We're going to copy from here, subtract here. So if it's negative, then we're done. If it's not negative, then we need to put that, or actually we need to jump back to here, but we need to copy, wait a minute, that to 0 first. Maybe we don't need to copy. Maybe we just need to sub again. Yeah, we probably just need to sub again. Okay, so then if it is, then we add one more back and outbox, and then jump all the way to the start. So we put a 6 on the floor, then we grab a 4, then we make a subtraction, then we do it again, then we outbox. Okay. All right, simple enough. Let's see how we did on targets. Size, green, good. Speed, green, good. Okay. All right, so now we have small divide. Remember last time when I told you didn't need to divide? Well, now you get to. Okay. So, self-improvement tip. This might be a good time to practice copying and pasting from a previous assignment. Interesting. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. So, how many times does the second fully fit into the first? So here, we're going to make a little bit of a count, right? So we're going to take this first item and put it here. And then we're going to take this second item and put it here. All right. And in fact, I think I'll put that one there. Okay, so then we're going to copy from, yep, right there. And we're going to make a subtraction. All right. If it comes out negative, then we are going to grab this counter, outbox it, and return to the start. Okay. If it's not negative, then we're going to put that back down on the floor because now we need to bump this. And now we need to jump back to here. Okay, I think that's it. Not too complex, I don't think. All right, not bad, not bad. Okay, we made the size challenge, and how about the speed? Hooray, green and green, love it. For those simple ones, like, you know, it's for those simple ones, it tends to be green and green because there's not like a lot of different ways necessarily that you could approach it. Okay, 3 sorts. So we already did the big sort. So this one's presumably simpler. So for each 3 things in the inbox, send them to the outbox in order from smallest to largest. All right. So, sure, let's do what they've got there. We're going to make a subtraction. All right. So if this came out negative, then it means that this one was bigger than this one. And if this one came out negative, so if these both came out negative, it means that it's in order 0, 1, 2. So I guess we're going to copy from 0, outbox, copy from 1, outbox, copy from 2, outbox. You notice how different this one is because we don't have the gameplay mechanic of being able to use an address on the floor. So it really makes a huge difference, right? That's probably like the most significant gameplay mechanic introduction in the game. It's really like everything after the floor addressing mechanic is introduced is quite different. Anyway, so, all right. So in this case, so if it didn't come out negative, then that means this one is the biggest. Oh, and by the way, so once we are done with that, we'll go right back to the start. Okay. And then this one. And then this one. Okay, fair enough. And we'll jump right back to the start. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so if this one was not negative, then that means that the 2 was bigger than the 1. So now we'll make another comparison. We'll subtract here. All right. So if this one, wait. So the 2 was bigger than the 1. Hold on. Did I do one of these wrong? All right. So we did the subtraction 2 minus 1. So the 1 was bigger than the 2. And the 1 was also bigger than the 0. So that's not correct. This should have been copied from... Oh. No. Okay, so we did jump if negative. So here, let me make a note. I haven't been using notes much, but I do feel that I definitely need them for this one. Oh, can we not actually type in our notes? Oh, goodness. Maybe that's why I didn't want to use them much. Okay, so 2 greater than 1. Oh my goodness gracious. And I didn't even do that right, did I? Oh no. I kind of don't like this one. So that's not right, is it? So We did 2 minus 1, so 2 greater than 1 is here. And then this one is 1 greater than 2. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Now, so if 2 is greater than 1, and 1 is greater than 0, then we've got it, right? So here, 2 is greater than 1, greater than 0. My handwriting with the mouse has never been good, and it's certainly bad now. All right, sure. So in this case, we've got it. So we're just going to go ahead and outbox. So we'll grab the 2, outbox, grab the 1, outbox, grab the 0, outbox, and return to the start. Okay. All right, so what about this one? So in this case, 2 is greater than 1, and 0 is also greater than 1. And where did we jump to here? Okay, right here. So this is 2 greater than 1. Let's do it like this. 2 greater than 1 and 0 greater than. Okay, so now we need to know, okay, so they're both, so 1 is the smallest, but which is bigger, 2 or 0 in this case, right? So we'll do 2, subtract 0. All right. So if it came out positive, then it's 2, 0, 1, right? 2 greater than 0 greater than. Okay, so then we can outbox. So we'll copy from 2, outbox, copy from 0, outbox, copy from 1, outbox. Jump back. Okay. All right, so then in this case, it's 0, 2, 1. Erupt Xvinity YT, cheap viewers? Oh, goodness. Actually, I don't know if you learned this, but Twitch is very well known for having changed the policy regarding viewers recently. 0 greater than 2 greater than 1. Okay, so again, we can now just outbox them. So we'll go 0, 2, 1. Jump back. All right. So I guess that covers those ones. So now we have this case. 1 is greater than 2. All right, so now we can do 2 subtract 0, which we did. So then if that came out here, so then this means 1 is greater than 2, which is greater than 0. So we're good there. We can outbox. And looks like this should have been 2 and this should have been 0. Okay. So now in this case, it's 1 greater than 2 and 0 greater than 2. So now we have to figure out which is the biggest, 1 or 0, right? So we'll take 1, subtract 0, jump if negative. All right, so now in this case, let's see, 1 is bigger than 2. Wait a minute. Did I F that up? So in this case, 1 is greater than 0 is greater than 2, right? Oh, shoot. Yeah, right here. 1 greater than 0 greater than 2. Sure. One. And then in this, and then of course we do have to jump back. There it is. Oh, yes. All right, so then in this final case, this is where we discovered we did 1 minus 0. It came out negative. So it's 0, 1, 2 in this case, right? 0 greater than 1 greater than 2. Right? So now we'll copy from 0, outbox, copy from 1, outbox, copy from 2, outbox. Okay, let's see what he does. I have a hunch that this is all wrong. It feels like something is all wrong here, probably, but we'll see. Okay, so we put out... Oh, my goodness gracious. So I was doing... I think at some point I lost track. It's supposed to be smallest to largest, and I lost track and was doing them largest to smallest. I don't know why. Okay, so that's fine. Maybe that was the only problem. I don't know. Let's see here. All right, let's see what it says. Let's see how it says we did. 34, and we used 62. Didn't quite double it, but pretty close. But we did make the speed challenge. All right, what's next? Okay, so that was the 3 sort. Now let's go to this last group of 3. Let's look at the alphabetizer. Please be advised this optional hallway is for advanced employees only. Bzz, bzz. Yes, indeed. Goodbye. Click. Incoming message. You will receive 2 words. One is a decoy, a false lead, a red herring. The other is part of an important message. Okay, so we are going to have 2 words, and we are going to... So we're going to choose whichever comes first alphabetically and send only that word to the inbox. I have a number 10 here, And I think that this number 10 is meant to be the idea that we can put one word here starting at 0 and the second word here starting at 10, I think is what I'm getting out of that, maybe. So one word starting at 0. So, do we need to copy both words to the floor? I'm pretty sure we do. So we'll take this 0 and put it here. And then when we take something from the inbox, we'll put it at that location. Then we'll bump that and get the next one. All right. If the thing that we got was 0, then we are done. And we'll get the next one. So then we'll copy from here and put it on the floor here. All right. And we'll grab something from the inbox. We'll put it on the floor at the spot indicated here. Then we'll bump that. And then we'll get the next thing. Now, if when we get this thing, it does turn out to be 0, then that means we are done. Okay, so so we're done copying from the inbox to the floor. So now we have to do the comparison. Now, when we do the comparison, let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure we actually do want those zeros on the floor so we know where the strings end. I think that'll just make it easier. So let's make sure we go ahead and put those strings on the floor. And put those 0 terminating characters on the floor, excuse me. Okay, so now, we've got the zeros. So now we are going to put the 0 and the 10 back in place. Right, so we're just going to reset those. Okay, so now we're going to compare one by one. So we're going to copy from the first string, and we're going to compare the second. Okay, so now if it comes out 0, then we need to check the next one. So that means we need to bump both of these and then return to here. All right. So if it's not 0, so if it's negative, then let's see. So we took this first one and subtracted here. And so if it's negative, that means that this one was the greater, so it means we need to copy from the first string, right? So now we're going to copy from here to, and I'm going to use a neutral position maybe for this one. I'll just call it here. And then We're going to copy from what is pointed to here and outbox it, all right? And then bump that, and then return. If this thing came out 0, then that means we are completely finished, and we can just go back to the beginning. All right, so if this was not negative, so if this came out positive, then we're going to copy from here instead. Okay, let's see if I've forgotten anything. Okay, so I'm going to put a U, bump. I'm going to put an N. This whole copying is pretty rote, so hopefully I didn't mess that up. We're going to put a D. We're going to put an E. We're going to put an R. And then we're going to put the 0 on the floor. All right, I'm going to let him cook for a minute while I look for my fizzy water. I want to say, I think it's here somewhere nearby. Well, I found one can, but I don't think it was a fresh one. Okay. So making a comparison. Uh-oh. So I can see that I got that backwards. Guess I wasn't paying close enough attention. Okay. Interesting. So in that case, one was shorter than the other. So what do we do in that case, actually? So we tried to make a subtraction, but it was no good. So that's here where we're trying to make this subtraction. But, so if this was 0, then we need to copy the earlier one. And if we find that the 22 is 0, and that would be right here. If we find that that's 0, then we need to copy the later one. Right? Okay, let's see how he does. So in this case, they're both the same word. So we just picked one. Uh-oh. Okay. So we messed this one up. So let's stop and reset. And let's see what we've got. Unzip. And under. Okay, well, that's the basic case, so apparently it's not going to work. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to find the Z and the D. Oh, so I do have them backwards. Wow. So here's the one that I think we followed, right? And so that was copy from 23. That was supposed to be here. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, that seems right. Okay, got through it, I guess. Okay, so, oh, just 1 over the size challenge and 4 over the speed challenge. Okay, so we'll definitely have to come back to that one. Now we've got Digit Exploder. Our users have been rating some of our hardware products with 1 star, with user reviews citing draws too much power and overheats. Numbers are too complicated for test subjects. Occasionally removes alarming volume of skin from human users. So management has come up with a solution to make the numbers smaller and easier to understand. All right. So we're going to grab the number and put it on the floor, I guess. So we have a convenient little 100 here, right? So we're going to want to, I guess, see if... So we first, I think, want to check, is the number larger than 100, right? So if it's larger than 100, then we'll need to deal with the case of the 100. But if not, then we don't need to worry about it. So then we need to do something similar here, where we're going to copy this and subtract the 10, right? So if that comes out negative, then it's smaller than 10. So we don't need to worry about it, except if it's a... okay, so if it's a 7... Shoot. All right. This is already getting overcomplicated for me. All right, so if it's a 7, then we'll do this, and we'll end up here. So now we're going to count the number, or actually no. In this case, we actually just go ahead and output the number, right? So we copy from, and we outbox, and we go back to the start. So actually, we should see that work for 7 if we just play it. So we put the 7 down. We're like, is it bigger than 100? No. Why do I have a 1 there? So here we go. So we'll take the 6. Here's the 6. Is it bigger than 100? No. So we'll grab it again. Is it bigger than the 10? No. So now we'll just grab it and put it out. Okay, but now this one is bigger than 100. So we're going to have to count how many digits, right? So we're going to start with a 0, and let's put it here. And then we're going to take our number, subtract 100. We're going to put that back on the floor. We're going to bump this number. All right. And now we're going to loop this. So when we subtract the 100, if that now comes out as negative, then we now have to go ahead and grab this number and put that out. And then we have to move on to the next step, which is going to be found in this area. Yeah, that works for me. Cool. Okay, so now we need to jump back and loop here. So we bumped this up. So now we need to jump back to here, right? Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing here, but with the 10s, right? Where's that jumping from? Wait, hold on. Okay. Right here, we are going to copy from the, no, not that, this, and we're going to put it here, I guess. Okay, so similar to what we did here. All right. Then we are going to copy from here and subtract here. All right. Okay, so if that does come out negative at that point, then we need to go ahead and grab this number and put it out. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. And then, yeah, so then we are going to copy. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So now we're going to copy to here. And then we're going to bump this. And then we are going to jump back to there. Okay, so he's got a 253. He makes a subtraction. Oh, he's like, oh, it is bigger. So I'm going to put this here. Okay. Bump that. Good. Make another subtraction. All right. Bump that. Good. Make another subtraction. Now it's negative. So he's like, oh, okay. We'll just put that there. Fine. Okay, so now I'll put this here. Busy, 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 right? Okay, how do we do on the optimization targets? Uh-oh, 31 instead of 30. 203 instead of 165. Goodness gracious. Okay, prime factory. So I think this is the last one to get to all levels complete, right? Are you sure you're supposed to be here? This is a very difficult assignment. I have no idea how to do it either. Okay, so for each thing in the inbox, send its prime factors to the outbox in order from smallest to largest. Phew. I haven't really been at it that long, but man. All right. Send its prime factors to the outbox in order from smallest to largest. Okay. So, we're going to need to have a... Let's see here. Well, we can see that the only ones here are 2, 3, and 5, right? So, I mean, technically we could start by just doing like 2, 3, and 5, and then include like other primes as needed. But actually, they're probably going to have cases that are just like large prime numbers, right? Or large products of two, largish products of two largish prime numbers. Prime factors, right? All right. Well, we can do this one. I mean, I have completed this one before, but I probably didn't optimize it. For some reason, I'm a little intimidated by this one. I think it's that comment that guy said at the start. Okay. So, we can do this. So we'll grab the item, sure. I think we're going to need a 2 and a 3, and then we're going to need like whatever odd number it is that we happen to be on. No. Darn it. Because technically, like, we could do a crazy thing and be like, okay, I'm just going to fill the whole grid with prime numbers. Would that be crazy? What if we just were to fill the whole grid with prime numbers? Okay, so copy this and place it here. Bump it twice. And that's our first prime number 2. Sure. And then put this here. Bump it again. That's our second prime number 3. Okay. Then put this here. Bump it twice more. That's our 5. Then put it here. Why am I thinking in this direction? This is not the direction we usually think about these things. Right? And so then that is our where did I even I distracted myself. That's our 5, right? So now we'll put it, wait a minute. So we got our 2, 3, our 5. Okay, so now we need to bump this twice for 7. All right, so now we need 11. So we're going to copy 2 here. And now I guess we're going to add 3 and then bump. Rather than bump 4 times, let's see. So if we grab our 3, add, that's still 4 commands. I'm just going to bump it 4 times then. All right. Then we'll grab this one, and we'll bump that twice more for our 13. Okay. Then we'll go here, and this will be our 17, so I guess I'll bump it 4 times again. All right. Then we'll do 19, so we'll bump it twice. Okay. What's next up? 23? So sure, bump it 4 times. Okay. What's next? 29. So that's 6 this time. So let's see. We don't want to bump it 6 times, do we? We want to add 5 and bump it once. So we'll copy from 5, add. No, actually, hold on. So here we just, you know what? Bumping 4 times is probably crazy. So we add 5, put it down, and bump. Oh, that's only 3 commands, right? Okay, well, let's go back then. Okay, so when we got to this one, so we had 2, 3, 5, 7, and now we need to skip to 11. So instead of doing that, we'll take the 7, add 5, and bump it down, right? And it should be just 3 commands. So instead of doing this, we're going to add 5, then do this. Yeah, so that's only 3. So let's get rid of these. Okay. Copied that down, bumped twice, bumped just once here, bumped twice. Okay, so here we are going to add 3, and then we get rid of these. And here we're going to add 3 and get rid of these. Okay. All right, so where did that get me to? $29, right? Okay, so then it's 31, 1. Okay. And then how about, so not 33, 35, 37? Is 37 one? I think so. So we wanted to add 6 here. Okay. 39 is not. Is 41? I think 41 is, right? Okay. What about 43? I think that's one, isn't it? Okay. Then what about 47? Is 47 one? I think so. Forty-nine is, right? Okay. And then is 51? No, it's not, right? So what about 53? Is 53? I think it might be. All right, let's see how we look so far. Okay, so I've got 2, 3, 5, 7. All right, so now I'm actually just going to look it up. All right. So we got 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Oh, whoops. Thirteen, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31. What's behind him? 41, 43, 47, 53, 59. Whoops. Oh, we didn't get to 53 yet. $59. We didn't get to 59 yet. I think I said that wrong. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to actually put this on my other monitor. Sorry. I'm going to look at it here. Okay. So we got 59. Then we should do 61. Oh my gosh. Then we should do 67. Then we should do 71. Then we should do 73. Then we should do 79. I think this is all going to be wasted because it's going to tell me, oh, you can't. It's going to be like you can't do it this way. We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out. Okay, so let's watch him. So I've got 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. Oh no, 81 is wrong. Oh, I messed up at, let's see, is 59 there? Oh yeah, 59 is there, but here I was supposed to get 61. So it's 18. So we're not going to do that. Okay, is that right? Okay, so I've 73, 71. Okay, yes, those are the numbers. Those are the numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to copy the 0. Wait a minute. So if I'm going to go through all of these one by one, then I need a loop counter to tell me which one I'm on. So I'll need a 0 to terminate it. Actually, you know what? No, I don't think I do need a 0 to terminate it. Because if I don't have enough numbers, then it's just going to F me up anyway. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to end up being wrong. And it's going to be like, no, you can't do it this way. It's not going to work. Okay, so at this point, we're all set. I'm going to use this 23 as my little loop counter. Oh no, wait a minute. If I'm going to use 23 as a loop counter, then I need to keep that 0. I need to keep that 0. I will put my inbox number here at 22, I guess. But I left out, man, I got weirdly focused on this obvious like wrong approach when it's not going to help me. So like I still need to be able to do like division actually. I still need to be able to do like division actually with remainder. All right. So if I need to do division with remainder, let's count out what I need, and I might need to write these down, but sure, let's just write them down, I guess. So this will be loop this one will be, I guess, let's see. The remainder. This will be the quotient, I suppose. And then I need to keep my original number somewhere, because if the remainder is not 0, then we need to increment the loop and try again, right? I'm just going to call this one n then. Okay. So we'll copy, so we'll put that down here, and we'll put it down here. Let me do these here. I think it just makes a little more sense to me. And then this will be the quotient, right? And then we're going to go through a divide loop, right? So we are going to copy from here, sub whatever our loop is. All right. And then if this comes out negative, then we need to start over with another. We need to increment the loop. Let's go ahead and bump that, and then start over like this. And reset the quotient. Okay. If this came out 0, then that means we need to outbox whatever we got in the quotient. Okay, so we just did a subtraction. It came out 0. So let's say we have 8 here and 8 here, and this starts out 0. So we know in this case we need to copy from what this is pointing at, and we need to outbox that. And now we need to change n to the quotient, right? Okay. And then we are going to jump back to wherever we had set n. The loop should stay where it is. I guess we'll need to copy that 0 again. Okay. So now, if it came out neither of those, then we need to bump up the quotient. Pretty sure we need to bump up the quotient regardless, though, right? So we probably actually want to do that first. Okay, let's watch what we do. So we're going to put all of our primes into position. Okay, so we did 19. So that's the last one, 67. So now I'm going to put this here and here. I'm going to put this here and here. So it definitely didn't look right. Something came out negative, and why was that? Because he was holding the wrong thing at that point, right? Okay, so yeah, I had added that bump the quotient here, but in all reality, this copy from, I guess, needs to be after bumping the quotient. Okay. Okay, so we put some 4s. Okay, bumped that. So we've got this. We're making a subtraction. Makes sense. Good. Bumped. It came out 0, so now we should outbox. So moving that 5 was not right. And that's because, let's see. So this was supposed to be like this. There we go. And this was supposed to be like this. Okay. Okay, so now I don't have the condition for when we're done. with the prime factors, right? But I think that'll be easy enough to do. So we got the 3 out there. I want to say, I think he's going to put the second 3 out there when he should. But then we need to go to the next inbox, and I don't have that yet. So he did put the next 3 out there, but now I think he's just going to be confused. Yeah, confused. He tried to put another 3 out there. So when we did this, copy from quotient, if this quotient is less than 2, then we need to move on. Okay, I think it might be basically ready-ish. I think he's going to find... Oh, wait. Expected 3, but you outboxed 2? Oh. I didn't see where that was happening. So did I skip ahead to the next number prematurely? It looks like that's what happened, right? So what was the number? Okay, so it was 9. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're like, okay, let's move on. So now I've got 9. 9. So we're trying to do the division by 2, but we're going to find that it doesn't work. Okay, so then here we go. So here's the negative somewhere soon. Here's the negative. Okay, so we're going to bump that up. We're going to put that back in there. And put that back in there. Okay. So now we're looking for the 3. And so it does work okay this time, right? I think. Okay, so we put the 3 there. And there's a 3 in the quotient. So what I expect is that this 3 should be moved over to n. So we grabbed it. We're going to make a subtraction. It's not negative. So now we're going to copy it again. Oh my gosh. Again? So what was the number this time? Was it 6 or something? Looks like it was 18. Okay, so the number is 18. So we should put out a 2. Did we? I think we prematurely bumped the loop. We should end up getting a 9. Okay, so there's the 9. There's the 0. So we're going to put the 2 there. That's so far so good. So that's good. Okay, so the 9 is there. That's as expected. Now this 0 is supposed to be put in the quotient. Okay. Bump that up. So that 2 is there. We were supposed to copy n over into the remainder. And where was that supposed to happen? Okay, so I'm gonna hit play. So 19 is prime. So this one should be a little interesting to see. So he's trying to make the division, but he's gonna find that it ends up as negative. So he moves on to the next. Busy guy, man. Busy, busy guy. All right, what's he say? Okay, so that was accepted as a solution. I used 88 commands instead of 28. And still did not make the speed challenge. Darn. Darn. Okay. All right, so that is everything completed. So that gets me to excellent instruction follower. Then we have Queen of Inefficiency. Solve any puzzle with at least 4x the number of steps required by the speed challenge. And then Social Engineer, but we want blue path. So that's interesting. So how many paths are there total? There's only 3 paths total. And interestingly enough, I never finished blue path fully optimized. All right, so it looks like only 5.9% of players on the global achievement board got this one. But yeah, let's start in on blue path fully optimized. So on this one, let's replay. This is from a while ago. Send only the zeros to the outbox. It was pretty small. Size challenge, looking okay there. Speed challenge, we used 3 steps more than we were supposed to. So now we're going to go back and do it in fewer steps. All right, so we did inbox, jump if 0, outbox. This does look like another case where we can get those 3 extra commands by unrolling, right? Probably. So let's try unrolling. So I'm going to put inbox, jump if 0, And I guess I'll jump to the same place. And then I'll do inbox, jump if 0. Sure. And then I'll do inbox, jump if 0. Okay, sure. So that's the idea, trying to save us a few commands. And then here, rather than jump, we'll go inbox, jump if 0. So again, I guess I'll just jump to the same place. And then inbox, jump if 0. And then inbox, jump if 0. Okay, I mean, that might shave off some commands. Let's see. So we unrolled it, and so now, of course, the size is far larger. And we got it down to 20. So do you think that was the best way to improve the speed on that one, was to just unroll it like that? I'm guessing probably yeah. Okay, so we got that one. Next up is the equalization room. There are a lot on this blue path, huh? Okay, equalization room. So we'll give this one a roll. Okay, so far so good. So we need to shave one command off for the speed challenge. Let's see. I think it is like, let's see, did we do something that was not required? Let me watch him. So he takes the 7, he takes the 1, does a subtraction, goes straight back. I don't know, that does seem okay, I think. Huh. I don't know on that one. So I think there is something kinda obvious but kinda clever that I'm not thinking of. But we can we can cheese it easily by just unrolling like on those last couple ones. Probably. Because we're only one command short. So removing one jump would do it, right? Or we're only one command too much. Let's see. All right, well, let's not spend a lot of time here. Let's just unroll it. So we'll go inbox. All right, so I think on that one, feel like there is a better way that I probably figured out pretty easily, like when I played it at some point in the past. But whatever. It's been a while. Okay, so let's see what he does on this one. We used 11 where we could have or should have used 10. Okay. So here I think there must be something unnecessary. Grab two things from the inbox. Put only the bigger of the two in the outbox. If they are equal, just pick either one. Repeat. Yeah, I think we can shave off one of the outboxes, I believe. Or what is it we can shave off? Oh my gosh. Yes, if we just move this like so, then that's all that's needed, right? It took me a little while to read that one. I am getting close to like the 3.5 hour mark. In fact, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop for now and come back. I wish I'd started earlier in the day today, but I didn't. I slept in really late today. Oh man, so there's a bunch more. Let's see number 16, absolute positivity. So we have 9 commands where we want 8. So I've got 2 outboxes again, right? So if this were just like this, that would shave that off right away. Interesting. So that actually added 40 steps. All right. I am going to hop off for now and plan to come back in 30 minutes. Actually, what time is it? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's way later than I realized. Damn. Well, this has not been a very successful session. So yeah, the real problem, the only problem is that I started so late. I started super, super late. So if I get up early enough in the morning, I can maybe kind of finish this up. I started so late. That's really bad. That's really bad. I don't think I'm going to finish this at all. Today was the only day I wanted to do this, and I started so late. Like, I didn't even understand how late it was when I was sleeping in. Okay, I'm going to hop off and